Before we begin today's video on the Dota 2 map, I just wanted to thank everyone that's recently subscribed to the channel. We just broke 550 subs, and part of that was due to the Neuralink announcement. It looks like a lot of you subscribed after I streamed that, so thank you for joining me on my channel. Just keep in mind it is a gaming channel. This is not the Neuralink official channel. Just wanted to make that clear. And we're getting closer to that 1,000 sub mark, which we wanted to hit by September of this year. So if you want to help out with that, feel free to share this video. Feel free to subscribe and to like and comment in the comment sections below. So let's get started. Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to go over the Dota 2 map. So we're going to get into the basics of the map, what lanes are, where positioning is, and so on and so forth. And I've got an interactive map that I found online, which I will link in the description below so you guys can go check it out. It's got some cool features in it. So let's get started. Alright, so this is the map, the interactive Dota 2 map that I've found. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into drawing, and this way I can actually draw everything out for you guys, and it'll be better. So let's start. There are 3 lanes in Dota 2. This, right, oh come on, I need to draw. This is the middle lane. As you can see, it goes from the base of the middle tower here on the Radiant side to the middle tower, tier 3 tower on the Dire side. This is known as middle. Then we've got the top lane, or what we call the off lane from the Radiant perspective, and this lane goes from here all the way to there. So that is the top lane, as you can see, and it's the safe lane for the Dire side. So for the Dire side, this is the safe lane, because this is where their safe lane hero or their position or their carry would go with the supports, and this is where the offlaner for the Radiant would go. And the creeps usually meet, I believe, about here if there's no blocking, right below the tower. But we'll get into that as well. Next up, we've got the safe lane for the Radiant, and it goes like that. And that is the safe lane. So those are the 3 lanes of Dota 2, and this is where the creeps are going to be running along, unless, of course, somebody deviates them from their path by pulling them or something like that. But generally speaking, the creeps will run along here, and they'll meet up about here to fight, unless you're pushing the lane or the enemy's pushing the lane, and we'll get into the terminology of that as well. So once again, to recap, I'm going to redo all of this. We've got mid lane, we've got safe lane for the Dire and the off lane for the Radiant, and then we've got the safe lane for the Radiant here and the off lane for the Dire here. So these are the 3 lanes. Okay, now let's get into other things here. This map is pretty great for everything like that. So let's see, lanes, as you can see, it draws the 3 lanes again, and we'll get rid of that. Lane spawns. So your creeps are going to spawn in these blue circles, and they're going to push out every 30 seconds. So they'll spawn at 0, and then they'll spawn every 30 seconds after that, and push out to the course throughout their corresponding lanes to the enemy's side. And let's see here, spawn boxes. So this is for the jungle. We'll get into that later. Now, let's get into the structures. As in the initial video, I mentioned the fountain, or I didn't mention the fountain actually, but the fountain is where you're going to start your game, okay? So this is where you're going to start your game, and I don't want to do measurement, but this is the fountain for the Radiant, and this circle right here is the fountain for the Dire. So you're going to spawn in this little area right here, and then that's where the game's going to start, and you're going to push out to your respective lanes and start going from there. Then we've got the barracks. So these are your creep spawning structures. These spawn melee creeps and 1 range creep, and over time that changes. We'll go into details about when creep spawns happen and how they happen and what types of creep spawn at what times in a later video, maybe even the next one. I'll see what we can do regarding that. So anyways, you've got a melee barracks and a range barracks, And the melee barracks actually gains HP back. So it's got HP regen of 5 HP regen per second. So when you are attacking it, once you do hit the enemy base, you want to make sure you do destroy it. Otherwise, you will have to basically go at it again. And it might be full health by then. So those are the barracks. Whoa, what happened here? What? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so this outlines their vision, it looks like, as well. And then the fountain vision is right there. So I'm going to get rid of barracks, and we're going to go into buildings now. These are just random buildings throughout the bases of both sides. These get destroyed as you push in. Now, towers. These guys are important. These towers, when you're playing the game, you'll notice people referring to them as Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 4. So Tier 1 towers are the outermost towers, closest to the river. That's how you can think of it. The closest to the river towers are the Tier 1s. So these are the Tier 1 towers, and these are their visions. So as you can see, during the daytime, they see this much. And during nighttime, it's a lot less. So their nighttime vision is that, I think, that blue circle. And their daytime vision is the yellow circle. Okay? And as you can see, during the day, you see a lot more than you see during the night. And basically, the towers, as I mentioned, the first few towers, so the closest ones to the river are Tier 1. Then we get into Tier 2, which are the ones that are closer to your base. And then Tier 3 are in your base. And Tier 4 are the ones right here. Let's see. Oh, shoot, I can't do it with that. I need the circle. Come on, circle. There we go. These are the Tier 4s, and they protect your throne. These are the Tier 3s, and these are the Tier 3s on the Radiant side, just so you have a visual indication as well. And these are the Tier 2s. These are the Tier 1s. Okay, so those are the towers. Now we'll move into shops. So we'll turn that off. Shops. This is the, I don't want it to zoom out like that. This is the off lane shop, or the safe lane shop for the Dire. And then this is the safe lane shop for the Radiant. These shops have certain items that you can buy here. Most of them you will need to get from the base. And then these are the secret shops. And I should probably do the circles here. So these are the 2 secret shops. As you can see, they're part of the jungle area on both sides. And these shops have items that are specifically, they're more special items that can't be bought here or here, but can only be bought here. Most of the items that can be bought here, actually all of the items that can be bought here, can also be bought at your base. Then we've got the Ancients. So these are the primary structures that basically can either die, or when they die, the game ends. So your goal, your objective, is to basically destroy the Ancient for the enemy team. And if you can't see it properly, this is the Ancient for the Radiant. That's the Ancient for the Dire. Now, shrines. These are all over, well, not all over. They're basically 4 shrines on the map currently in this iteration of the patch, and they allow you to heal your mana and your HP every 5 minutes. So they become active after the first 5 minutes, and then it takes 5 minutes for them to cool down. So you can basically use them every 5 minutes. I think that's how it works. Just double check 1 second. Come on, get rid of that. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get rid of that, and there we go. Come on, armor 17. Okay, it doesn't really tell you the cooldown. So that is the map in a nutshell. Alright, so that's the map. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was a good overview for all you newbies. In the next video, we'll go over the Dota 2 interface for when you log into the game, what you'll see, how to navigate it, and how to go around there and do what you need to do to get into your first game of Dota 2.